Hey guys, Landon aka DJ New Spirit here. It's been a while. This is my first movie video critic review. But anyways, I'd like to go ahead and put into perspective of the Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, okay, the movie was clunky, everybody, and I'm sorry to just put it out there that way. And it's the movie was clunky. And to get to the point of things, the action was good. Now I won't knock Tom Hardy's performance as being Bane. He played a awesome part as Bane. I think probably as a new introduction for some of the classic characters of the series, I thought that was refreshing to see, and him be able to be that physical in terms of like the punching and kicking and stuff like that, and just him just being a brute, because that's really Bane's character. But I think the only failed thing about what happened with his character is that there, with writers such as Christopher Nolan and other directors alike, I think they yet to understand the complete concept of the character. His venom or toxin, if anybody remembers, goes from his spine to his back, and he had everything going to his face as if he was disfigured or whatnot. And when Bane was just a mass villain who was just not only clever but strong and athletic, and with the neurotoxin in him, such as the venom, that gave him incredible strength, speed, and agility, and that made him one of the more dangerous characters in the Batman series. And with the story of the man who broke the bat, if anybody remembers that, it was that issue dating back in 1993. And I just think that with the in regards to the overall concept of the movie, um, fantastic cinematography, and I think that overall it was fantastic in terms of the landscapes, the buildings, and everything else. Um, but there is one thing that I do have a complaint about, and it is this.
I keep talking like this. Where is he? Where is the switch? Where is the switch? Where is the switch? Where is the switch? I'm like this again. I don't like people with hockey masks.
Yeah, Christian Bale's got that. I'm quiet as kept, and I'm being honest. I am so glad that he is not going to be the Batman anymore. If this is true, because I've been hearing rumor mill all over online that they're going to redo the entire Dark Knight series because of some things that they didn't very well put in detail of the script. And I think that with that in regards to everything, I think that the movie will be much, or the series itself will be probably better. And at the same time, I don't think Christian Bale was a very good Batman. And I think personally that with him being playing Batman, I feel like he wasn't physical enough. If not physical enough, I think that they lacked innovation with the choreography. I think that's my probably the biggest complaint about the entire Dark Knight series is the choreography. I mean, everything is not flashy. I mean, you're fighting on the street, so nothing is going to be perfect. But Batman is a martial artist, a guy trained in anywhere between 8 to 10 different forms of martial arts, and they. I feel like Christopher Nolan should have done a better job of displaying that. The Dark Knight, although him being a very physical being or specimen, he is a martial artist, and he uses his intellect, his gadgets, and everything at his disposal in order to defeat bigger and better foes. I mean, if anybody who kept up to date with the Justice League, I mean, Batman pwned Superman with kryptonite gauntlets. So I mean, that just goes to show you how bad he is, man. I mean, Batman is no joke, and I just feel like that they didn't deal with very good well great job of keeping that in the par for Batman. Also, there were things in the plot that's completely out of context, and this is a spoiler, everybody. So if you all are listening to this one, my bad. But I just think that with the chronological, excuse me, with the scheme of the storyline, um, there were some things that were out of place. Bane, after breaking Batman in half, which they could have done a better job of making that more dramatic, because when Batman got broke, he got broke. Um, they didn't bring in the factor that Robin was already into play of this, because it took Robin to help Batman while Batman was going back to the Lazarus chamber. And the Lazarus pit in the story was not just a prison. It was a prison, yet it was a chemical or pool of water that Ra's al Ghul found, and that gave him, rejuvenation, rejuvenated him, and de-aged him, and pretty much made him immortal. They didn't show that at all, and they should have done something about explaining more about the Lazarus Pit. And there was a character by the name of Azazel, or I think it was Azazel or Azazel. Um, I think it's pronounced Azazel. Azazel, otherwise known as Jean Paul Valley, um, was the new Batman that helped Bruce Wayne and Robin, but he never befriended Robin, because Robin was actually, in terms of trying to help Jean Paul Valley, who was actually a university college graduate, who was doing freelance jobs for Batman or Bruce Wayne during the time that he was a paraplegic, and they didn't do a very good job of introducing, or at least trying to bring that into narrative. But like I said, I think it was a better overall. The movie was a better attempt uh, to bringing in that character of element, but for as Bruce Wayne and the Lazarus Pit, but they made it too dramatic, um, or not so much as dramatic, but the story kind of took forever in some parts in order to get to the point, and for us looking at the action, if not the action, but just getting to the point of the story. And I think in the Dark Knight Rises, that's where it really failed, and it just took it. I think things took too long in terms of character development. Catwoman, Catwoman, and pardon me, ladies, for saying this, but Catwoman's voluptuous. I mean, she's banging. I mean, she's very attractive. All the matter of fact, all the characters or females in the entire DC series are attractive women, and I think they made Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway is not a bad looking woman. They made her lose too much weight for that role, and I think that they kind of just went into detail of her, like the new thing is being anorexic or something like that. I don't know what it is. I mean, and I think that's an insult to the character of Catwoman when you have women such as Julie Newmar, the Great Eartha Kitt. I believe there was another woman who played Catwoman, and all of them were proportionate and in shape. Um, but again, I just think some things were out of context. And Talia al Ghul, who was Ra's al Ghul's daughter, um, the same for her. Not so much as the anorexia, but I don't think that they picked a very good woman or actress to actually do that for Talia al Ghul. And uh, like I said, there's just some things that are just completely off course. Overall, I guess going back to the backbreaking part, Jean Paul Valley Azazel was a very ruthless criminal, or ruthless vigilante, to a point to where he even surpassed Batman in terms of killing people. Batman never killed an opponent unless it was, you know, to a point to where it was either the city or the people, and it was never Batman's intention to actually murder anybody. It was just to put people behind bars because of the death of his family. Azazel took things further, and he was the one who actually beat Bane the first time. And by the time Bane was disfigured and his venom wires was out of his back, Azazel was actually the one that was close to killing him. He kept beating him and beating him, but it took Robin, aka the Boy Wonder, to stop Azazel, and Azazel had to be killed. And that's when Bruce Wayne stepped back into the picture from coming back from the Lazarus Pit. And the Lazarus Pit is a pool of water, but that's what rejuvenated Batman and got him back into the scene. And Christopher Nolan never mentioned that. I don't know if it was something as far as plot, um, discrepancies or whatnot, or excuse me, writing discrepancies within, or script discrepancies. And I just think that it could have they could have done a very better job of getting to the point of the story, and things were so out of place and out of whack in that entire thing, and me knowing the history of that DC franchise as far as Batman and other hardcore readers that probably know more just as much as I do. And because I mean, somebody's gonna watch this video and gonna say, "Oh, you're hating on the Dark Knight. You're hating on the Dark Knight."
Well, guess what? I didn't like all three of them at all. Cause I don't wear a hockey mask.
So sorry. So sorry. But for the whole series, I just think they could have done a lot better. As far as, just everything, the fighting. Like I said, Tom Hardy did a fantastic job, and he was probably the most physical out of any actor I've seen in that entire series. I just, like I said again, it's nothing against Christian Bale, but I just feel like he's not the Batman, and it's more of a psychological thing with him where he's just so menacing, and it really. I mean, Batman himself is menacing, but
he doesn't go around talking like this. I want to know where Falcone is. Where is he? Where is he?
Again, I'm sorry, but anyways, to get to the point of things, again, in conclusion, overall, if I would give the movie a grade, it would be a C minus. And I'm sorry to all the Dark Knight fans or Batman fans out there. One of the things I think is overshadowing was the overindulgence or overwhelming script or the dialogue itself, where it just took too long to get to a point. Things in terms of the time or the timeline of the current events that happened within the Batman series was not in play. It was almost as bad as when you were watching X-Men Wolverine Origins. I'm not even going. I'm not even going to go on that. I won't. I won't. No, I won't. I just won't. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Yeah. So biggest gripe again, combat. Somebody's got to help them work on some martial arts combat or choreography. Batman is a martial artist, and I think through all three movies altogether, they failed to do just that. The only thing they did right was in Batman Begins, and that was with the ninjutsu or the art of lurking into the shadows. But other than that, as far as combat wise, it could have been much better. It could have been much better because Batman is a physical specimen, and he is the truth. So I mean, that's one of my biggest complaints. The chronological order of the timeline of the series events that happened within the Batman universe, and they failed on that one, I believe. And that's I just like I said again, the characters were very good, and it's just it took too long to get to the point. And second of all, it's just things were out of order and clunky. Um, there was really no flow with things, and Robin was already relevant in the storyline to tell everybody. I mean, who even those of you who don't know what happened with the Batman universe, Robin was already relevant in the series. So, in conclusion, thank you all for watching this video. I would like to do more videos coming up soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed some of the comedy that was in this video itself. You guys take care and God bless. This is Landon, aka DJ New Spirit, out, and thank you for watching the movie review of The Batman Rises, or Dark Knight Rises, or Dark Knight Falls or Fails. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Thanks. Bye. Oh, and my favorite line of the movie. My favorite line in the movie was this.
Where's the switch? Where's the switch? Where's the switch? Where's the switch?